aroma di casa. Hai aroma di casa.
And we're back. Another week. Welcome to Chris Sees the Internet. Sundays right here, Platform Collection on YouTube. This is not the only show on Platform Collection, though. Many, many shows. Check them all out. Subscribe. Turn on your alerts so you know every time we drop something. Man, it's Sunday. And I know for you who usually tune in while we record this, because we usually record it live on YouTube and then it drops on Monday. But we're not doing that this week. It's dropping right now on Sunday. And we talked about this last week about possibly pre-recording some of the episodes. Because, man, it's a bummer when the internet drops out. We've been having like crazy internet things. We have to get a whole new hardwired internet link in here, 5G type stuff. But it's coming. So until then, I think we might just record shows. Either way, the shows are going to be dope. And I'm probably going to premiere it on Sundays. And then so it's out. Because this is what happens a lot of times is we'll record it on Sundays. We'll interview artists. And then we have to make it private. After the show is done, we make the video private, edit it, and then let it go. But that's a bummer because anybody who might have wanted to like share it right then, they can't, because the link will be broken, or it's just you get it. You're on the internet right now. Obviously, you get it. So we don't want that to happen. We're trying to grow this show. And we definitely appreciate the people who jump in the chat room. That's why we're allowing this to premiere when it drops from now on, so people can jump in the chat room and watch it with us. But then it's just on there, and you can rewind it and all the good stuff, But one thing you may notice, it's very quiet here in the studio right now because I'm by myself. OG Hip Hop Eddie is on vacation, man. It was his wife's birthday. Shout out Mrs. Rangel. And happy birthday to you. A well-deserved vacation for the both of you. It's like a couples thing, I think, They left the kids with grandma. They're out there living their best life. Well, your boy is over here going through major health issues. I don't know what's wrong with your boy, man. Full disclosure, over the last year, I've had like gut issues. That's the best way to put it. I've had like digestive stuff. If you follow me long enough, it's stress. I don't handle stress well. I handle stress, and I'm good at handling stress in the moment. But what I puts my body through, not good. Not good at all. So maybe now, like four or 5 days ago, your boy said, "You know what? I think I might need to go to their emergency room because something wasn't feeling right, man. My stomach was off. I was getting hot flashes, and decided to go get checked out." They did a MRI, I think it's called. I don't know. X-ray. That's how I know it. Kids. X-ray. But yeah, I got kidney stones. Now let me tell you how my feeling on this. I got fucking kidney stones, man. Let me tell you my feelings on this. One, I'm not surprised. Because again, it's not like I rarely break down. And that's probably the problem. Trust me, I know most of it is the inability to express my feelings in anything else but art. Like, that's usually how I express everything. Even this I count as art, you know. But that's not healthy. I'm a overanalyzer, so for sure I can worry about things because I'll be analyzing things and trying to see every aspect of it. And in business and in art, or rather the business of art, that has not been a bad thing. That's probably played to my benefit quite a bit. But at the cost of what? My health. So your boy has 3 kidney stones. 3, man. Now, mind you, I'm an idiot. I don't even really know what that means. There's stuff in my kidneys that shouldn't be there, right? And you don't want to piss that out because that could really, really hurt from what I hear. So that's a little nervous thing. Again, probably not good for my stress. But you know what else, though, man? I'll tell you this. This situation has been... It's made me think about a lot of stuff, right? It's made me think about how I approach my health. And look, man, if you are, you know, maybe you don't live a healthy lifestyle, or maybe you do, but I'm mostly talking to you guys who don't, kind of like me. You know, it's not like I'm unhealthy, but it could be healthier for sure. Because I've always, and this is what I mean by that, I'm not necessarily an overeater. I've fluctuated in weight my entire life. Right now, I'm in the best shape of my life, except for this, which is, you know, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I've gone up and down in weight, and there's been times where I've gotten like in really, really good shape. Like I've done like a Spartan marathon. I've done, you know, normal like 5Ks. I've done those. And then there would be times where I'm just like, I don't, because here's the thing is like physically, I never felt different no matter like what I weighed for some reason. I've always been kind of athletic. But you know, that shit catches up to you, man. I can tell you this for sure. There's no part of me that goes, "Oh, you have kidney stones." What? What? Where did that come from? There's no part of me. I've lived a life. Trust me, I've lived a life. In my younger years, I could party with the best of them. There are some notorious stories out there, I'm sure, if people researched enough. And I can party. And I drank because I could drink. I was one of those guys who really didn't matter how much I drank. I'd never really acted drunk, you know? There's some people who are like completely different other people when they're drunk. Hip Hop Eddie. In fact, wait, hold on. Let me just, because I know we're getting a little serious here. Let's see what Hip Hop Eddie's doing. Yeah? I know there's some video on here or something. Oh, yeah. He's just out there living his best life. Look at this. Him and his lady, just, come on. Nobody wants to see that. Come on. Good God. Your boy's over here having kidney stones. And what are you doing? Look. Crazy. So, yeah, there's partying. Lots of drinking. Lots of late night eating. Did that for years. I'm a single man. Still a single man. And I dated. So I was out there meeting girls and drinking and partying and doing all that. But like a 10. I mean, your boy had every day of the week mapped out as a spot to go to where you could get cheap drinks, meet girls, have fun every day of the week. And we did it many times where we'd go on like a 3-4 week run every night. And now this consisted of like pre-drinking, right? Loosening up. catching a cab wherever. We were pretty responsible when it came to that. After we learned a few lessons, you know, I don't want to say who learned the most lessons, but Hip Hop Eddie. So we would pre-drink, take cabs, party all night, drink. I live in San Diego, so it's just a hop, skip, and a jump over to Tijuana. Fill in the blanks. Like sometimes, like I'm saying, like a month, we'd just go on a run. And I'm not going to mention any other names because most of the other names that were with us, they're not in the entertainment business. They got families and stuff. But like serious jobs. But yeah, so I know that my body's paid for it for sure. And when I started dealing with like anxiety and depression, which is probably within the last 4 or 5 years, kind of came out of nowhere for me. Well, I have my theories, which is a whole nother story, but you know, I'm in therapy. I do all the stuff. And so I feel like it's, and I think it's important to note that the type of person I am, and I've always been this, very driven, very motivated, self-starter, leader, all those kind of things. People have said those things about me at times. And I don't ever really feel like that about any of those things because I don't really think about those things because I'll be so focused, and sometimes over-focusing can be stressful and it's hard on your body. So just imagine you have, or let's say you have like a 9-to-5 job, right? And you hate Wednesdays because Wednesdays is when this supervisor works and they're shitty to you. And so your stress is up. So every Wednesday and maybe Tuesday night, you start to stress. Your body probably gets tense. Maybe you get back pain. Some people get back pain. Some people get stomach stuff, headaches. I get all of them. But you'd be paying for that, like, 2 or 3 days out of the week. Unfortunately, my job is in the entertainment business, and we are always working. In fact, weekends are big work days for us. So we're always kind of working. Usually my come down days are like Mondays. That's usually when I crash and try to catch up. But either way, I'm working. I'm working a lot. And so the stress of doing things that you don't necessarily want to do all the time, right? For instance, I'm recording the show. I don't want to do this right now. I don't feel the best, but the show must go on. And I gotta I have to take that one on the chin, right? Because I know what got me into this situation. Kidney stones. I know what got me there. So it's not surprising to me. So that being said, I'm going to turn it into a positive. It's usually how I live my life. If something challenging comes up, I've learned enough times. That is something I have learned enough times, is that I only seem to learn from pain. I talk about it a lot in my music. I make art about it. But I have this weird relationship with pain that I'm trying to change. And I'm determined to make this thing be like the last time I have to use pain to motivate me. Because like I said, I'm a self-starter. I don't need anybody to tell me to accomplish the mission. But motivating myself to do that in the healthiest way isn't something that's usually at the top of the list. So I got to learn how to do that. And I'm going to use it. So I got diagnosed with these kidney stones 4 days ago. And letting the dog out. about 4 days ago. And since then, and this is something, again, man, it's just one of those things like I already know this, right? Like, so I'm eating super clean, cleaner than I've ever eaten. You know, literally vegetables, fruit, lean protein, very little of that lean protein right now because I'm letting my stomach kind of like deal with this stuff. I'm not on any medications yet. I have to go see a doctor tomorrow for a follow-up to kind of see what that plan of attack is. And mind you, before I got diagnosed with the kidney stones, I was already having stomach stuff like colitis. If anybody knows what that is, it's like your stomach has a hard time digesting things because I've done damage to the stomach lining, to my stomach lining because of drinking and eating bad. There's no other excuse. There's no other excuse. That's what it's been. Oh, and the stress, right? The inability to control the stress in the body. You know, I've been on that journey though. I feel amazing when I'm making art, when I'm performing. And then the times around that stuff are low. They're always low. And I'm working on that. So, welcome to the hip hop show. But yeah, man, I'm just catching you guys up on this. It's so I'm going to turn it into a positive. Your boy's been eating super lean, and lo and behold, literally 4 days of just eating lean, right? Lettuce wraps, no sodium, like literally cutting sodium out, except for whatever's in like my vitamin. And I also got off some supplements. I take supplements. That shit can fuck you up after a while. Been taking them my whole life. That's the problem. Again, you're seeing the patterns here. But I'm realizing now that like the way my mental has worked, I've kind of accepted it. It's my fault. I've accepted that, oh yeah, you learn through pain. And so I know what this is going to do. I'm saying I'm so confident that I'm telling you right now that I absolutely know what this is going to do. Your boy's going to be ripped. Your boy is going to have the best body he's ever had in his life. And I'm already on my way. Last 4 days, I hit my all-time weight goal mark was 185. I weighed in at 184 today. If you follow this show, you know over the last couple of years, we've done like some weight loss challenges. And KILLcRey here started that journey weighing, wait for it, 247 pounds. 184 today. Bow. But I also got kidney stones, so you know, I also got kidney stones. What are you doing, Eddie? Oh, that's right. That's right. Probably went to the buffet too. But that's what I'm going to do. Your boy will be shirtless on this show at some point. Sorry, fellas. You're welcome, ladies. Yeah, your boy's going to be shirtless. I'll show you. We'll do a before and after. Your boy's going to get ripped. The Chris Cesar Internet Weight Loss Challenge? Nah. We need a new name. Can't be the weight loss challenge. I don't need to lose any more weight. I'm not trying to lose any more weight. 185 is where I've wanted to be. I've always kind of been a bigger guy. I'm going to put a lot of muscle on, which I know how to do. I've done that in the past. And that's what I'm going to do. But the big key in all of this is that my diet is just going to be. Because I realized within 4 days, I lost a bunch of weight. I feel better. Here's something that I noticed almost immediately. So think about this. If you hold stress, a lot of people hold stress on their shoulders and their necks and their backs. The moment I started eating clean, like 2 days in, I wasn't having back pain anymore. Because foods that we eat add to swelling in our body, right? Inflammation. Anything that our body has to like work overtime to process, your body swells because it's inflaming. It's hurt every time. And it just popped in. Mind you, I'm microdosing, allegedly. And I know that has something to do with it, for sure. For sure. I had an amazing conversation the other day with my mom. Because after many, many years, my mom's like, she's going to be 80 soon. But out of many, many years just chipping away, I got her to microdose. And so she's been microdosing for maybe 90 days, almost, maybe 90 days, a little over 90 days. And you can just see it, man. I don't know if you guys have experience with this, but you can just see it. Like you can see, it's almost like something just clicks over. The way it works in my head, just like these realizations through all of this stuff, right? It just feels like things stick, right? Like say you're trying to break a habit and you know how that is. You try to break it, maybe you go strong for a little while and then it starts getting chipped away at and you get weak. They catch you in a momentary time of weakness and you're right back on the habit. It seems like what psilocybin does, allegedly, is it helps with that part of your brain, the rewiring of those things, or maybe the blocking of that urge or whatever. But, like I said, like for the last few days, I've been eating really clean, and even the flavor, because of the pain that I felt before, that pushed me over the edge, right? And then I think what psilocybin does, allegedly, is not let you come back. Like it clicked. I was like, oh, that's right. Food can cause pain. And now I just think that. Now I feel that. It's so hard to explain. I don't have a craving for salt. It's weird. But maybe you work like that too. I don't know. Maybe you're like that too. Where once it clicks, it's hard to go back. And I've always been that way. In relationships, in business, and once it clicks over, I don't go back. And I'm like I said, I'm really confident about that. You've watched the weight loss journey if you've been watching this show. Man, I'll try to find some pictures of what I look like. Oh man, I was looking at like just 2 years ago. Holy crap! How come y'all didn't say anything? That's ridiculous. Who should we blame? Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Hip Hop Eddie. Mm-hmm. My manager. Yeah. No, it's not his fault. I know that. It's nobody's fault. The whole thing about this is I know it's nobody's fault. I'm taking full responsibility for getting myself in the situation, like I'm taking full responsibility to get myself out. But yeah, that's where we're at. I don't have any definitive answers about the situation. I'm going through it in real time with y'all right now. But I bet you next Sunday I'll have some more stuff. But your boy's gonna be looking good this summer, y'all. Invite me to all the pool parties. Just put the pressure on me. Be like, yo, come to my pool party. And I'll just feel like I have to go. I don't want to be fresh, right? I don't want to go there with a coat. Invite me to your pool parties. I'm there this summer. And wish your boy some luck. I got to go see the doctor, see how bad this thing is. What's really scary, just to be completely honest, is when they like do the exam for all this kind of stuff. They check for cancer too. And the doctors always say stuff like, well, we can't rule out cancer, but I don't think that's what it is. Don't even say that. Don't even say that. But you know what I mean. That gets in your head. I have one other realization that's going to be definitely taboo on this show. I was smoking too much weed. Yeah. And so I kind of stopped the last few days, or at least cut it down tremendously. Like one hit yesterday to go to sleep. Nothing today. And you guys know how weed works. I've been a lifetime smoker. I know how it works. Again, I know all this stuff. But for you who do not, I mean, literally, if you're a guy who smokes every single day, or a gal smokes every single day, the day you take 2 or 3 days off, you're like, whoa, oh, I was just really, really high. A lot of things start to make sense. A lot of things you were worrying about, a lot of the nonsense, you're like, oh, that was just the indica. That's what it was. And trust me, that there'd be a time where I would definitely fight what I'm saying right now. But I'm trying to just be honest with myself, man. Let's be real. You're probably not that clear-headed if you're just high all the time. And so anything that exists while you're high might not exist when you're not. That's just a fact. Some things will, but some things won't. And if you've been a smoker, if you have any experience, then you know this. And so it's not the weed, it's your mental state. But if you don't use accordingly, that could be a problem. So I've definitely found that out too. Your boy's cut way down on that. Feeling good today. I feel better than I felt yesterday. Eating clean. Here's another thing that happens when you eat clean. You don't get hungry. I thought for sure that would be the thing. I'd be like, I'm not going to eat enough, but nah, you just don't get hungry. My stomach is definitely shrinking. I can feel that. I mean, like inside my stomach, my waistline for sure. I've dropped 3 pant sizes. Oof. Oof. What? 3 pant sizes? What's wrong with you? I'm just out there. Right, Eddie? Right? Yeah. So, here we are. Once again, PlatformCollection. By the way, don't think this is not a hip-hop show. I'm a fucking hip-hop artist. A lot of us go through these things. By the way, how do I know? Because I've talked to a bunch of my friends who are hip-hop artists about what I'm going through, and they're like, oh, dude, me too. I haven't said anything, but yeah, I've been going through that for a while. Or, oh, yeah, that's why you always see me pack a lunch. And this is hip-hop, y'all. It's not all turn up. It's not all green rooms. By the way, I've been in the green rooms. Very rarely any girls in those green rooms. I do underground hip-hop, though, so I'm sure that's different in, I don't even know. I have no one to name. Tekashi 6ix9ine's dressing room? I don't know. But yeah. So welcome to the show. Today, if this is your first time tuning in, man, we have an amazing show. Got the homie A Sincere coming up. If you don't know about A Sincere, he's a multi-talented artist, promoter, man about town. He's the son of a pretty well-known artist as well, which I found out and I was blown away by. And he's coming up. He's right out of the IE. If you've never heard of him, get familiar with him. A Sincere. And then we got the homie Beirdoh with a rare interview. Rare in that you're going to see his face. This is a guy who doesn't show his face much. If you don't know about Beirdoh, he throws an event called Black Books and Rhyme Books. It happens in the greater Los Angeles area, but it has also traveled throughout different states and counties and cities. And he's a Renaissance guy. He threw a show once for his birthday. Just decided on a whim, because he was a super fan of hip hop and the culture, and specifically he was doing sticker art, and he was plugged in with like the sticker art community and the graffiti community, and he threw an event, and that event became Black Books and Rhyme Books. He just threw himself kind of a birthday party, reached out to some of his favorite artists, and you know us, we'll go perform if you're like, hey, I like your music. Oh, for real? Can I perform? Like, we'll perform. And but lo and behold, I actually performed at the very first Black Books and Rhyme Books. That's an honor. I actually want to find that flyer and get it framed because that's so dope. But yeah, he's gonna come on because he has a huge announcement, and some of y'all have sniffed it out already, I'm sure. But Beirdoh will be here to talk all things Black Books and Rhyme Books, and really, he's just coming on to make an announcement because you're going to be hearing a lot from him in the near future. Know what I'm saying? So, without any further ado, we're going to jump into this first conversation. My homeboy A Sincere. I think he called me KILLcRey too, by the way. See if you can catch it. I think he called me KILLcRey, which, by the way, half people do. It's KILLcRey though, but I have homies who call me Cray, KILLC, C. They call me Ray, and I give no shits because I think it's all of those. I mean, to be honest, I've said Cray in some of my songs, but I'm just playing on the funny idea that people call me that, and it backfired. But nonetheless, it's all to the good. The homie A Sincere is coming up, and it's going to be. We had a dope conversation. I super vibe with this dude. I'm gonna be working with this dude in the future. Myself and Gene Flo are working on a Invisible Poncho's album, or multiple albums right now, for just being factual and actual. And I'm gonna try to get A Sincere involved in some of that. And I actually had an idea. Maybe I should just throw this out there. I kind of manifest this, but I actually had ideas like, yo, I want to tour with A Sincere, Cam Gnarly, and a couple other people that I've been thinking about. But I was like, yo, we should do like a private show thing, like real intimate. You know what I mean? 50 to 100 people, like super intimate, in backyards, on farms, in pastures, secret locations. I thought that would be really dope because I like A's music. I already vibe with Cam, and of course the Invisible Ponchos. You know what we do. You know how we do. But I just think it'd be really eclectic because I think we're all very eclectic, and we kind of fill in the gaps. You know what I mean? In the Voltron. Just throwing that out there. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, the homie A Sincere. All right, man. I mean, it's your first time on the show, and I just want to kind of start from the beginning with you. I want to, for anybody who might not be familiar with what you do, can you kind of give us a background, where you're from, and basically how long you've been doing what you do?
Yeah. What's up, guys? My name is A Sincere. I am a rapper, singer, songwriter, musician, connoisseur of all things that are nerdy. I'm from San Bernardino, California, born and raised. I kind of do everything. So like I mentioned, I do all those things, but also throw events. Like for example, at KILLcRey on 11 Light, 2 months ago now? About
Yes.
2 months ago. It's a monthly event I do with a partnership I have at Viva La Boba in downtown San Bernardino. It's a boba shop that I do a lot of collabs with, do a lot of shows with. I do audio dope with Noah James, Cam Gnarly, Lisa J, Brick to Your Face. But also I'm a part of Payday LA. I do a lot of things to give back to the community, trying to see, I've been doing this since I was 16. I'm 25 now. So yeah. Noah used to let me into the vibe in Riverside.
For the common ground.
For the common ground before I was even allowed in.
Oh, wow.
The black X's I used to have the black X's on my hand so I couldn't drink.
Yeah.
Noah used to let me in, and Noah and my dad go way back because they used to battle together way back in the scene, like early 2000s.
All right on.
So
let me ask you this. Did you have, obviously your family was somewhat musical. Like how deep does that run? And like, what were your early experiences with like music early on in your life?
Yeah, so as far as rapping goes, the roots run deep. My dad, so I'm not sure if you know him, but so his stage name is George Burns.
Okay.
His rap name, because he does a lot of battle rap in Mexico, is Jorge Quema. So my
Oh,
dad
okay.
is pretty well known in Mexico.
Yeah, yeah,
For out here, he had his buzz going and whatnot. But he kind of just, once you kind of find that market, you kind of jump out there. And
for sure.
so yeah, so with rap, it kind of like runs deep out here in the IE. At least as far as that goes. But as far as everything else, when it comes to producing and playing bass and whatnot, I kind of took it upon myself to like learn, just because I kind of just love music and have always really been a part of it. So I grew up in church, taught myself how to play bass, kind of did the whole worship leader thing in my early teens, and kind of stepped away from that. And when I went to college, I played bass at Cal Baptist. It's a Christian university in Riverside. Got a scholarship to play bass there, and kind of just stuck with it. And then again, at the same time, was going to the Common Ground and just discovering all these different sounds and all these different artists, and doing all these different open mics, and jumping from the IE to LA to Arizona, and just spending my early 20s basically trying to figure out.
I noticed that your music is very it's very eclectic, and if, for lack of better description, it's musical. It seems like there's a lot of musicality in your music. It's not for instance, it's not just like looped samples or like very basic things. You seem like you're really into song structure. It seems like you're very into writing in concept. Where do you feel like that that comes from? Like, why not just make, because I just asked someone this the other day, why not just make like very easily digestible music? Like, you make music that is deeper, like it has layers. Why?
Yeah. Well, so I can, right? Like, I think everybody spent a point where they did. At least for me, I always love challenging myself, but also like, I love all different kinds of music. So why not try to integrate all these different sounds into one song? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially me being a bassist, like I can hold a pocket in a lot of different genres. Like growing up in church, I was playing gospel with like new age Christian music, but also I played for a lot of the Spanish services too. So I was playing all these Latin grooves and all these Latin sounds. So that's one part of it. But then me going to the Common Ground and hearing all these different loop samples and wanting to use that. But getting my inspiration by going to all these music festivals like Coachella and Camp Flognaw and hearing all these different sounds, and just surrounding myself with all these different waves of music and different things that are, I guess for me, just really dope and cool. Me wanting to challenge myself all at the same time, trying to make it my own. So pulling what I know from all these different things, I guess if you want to call it just like a mukbang, for lack of a better term. I love food. So I'm going to try all these different food at the same spot, but also it's going to be like really hearty and really, really digestible for myself and for everybody else at the same time.
Do you find that you are attracted to things that have more layers, like in your personal life, or is that the kind of music you normally take in, or are you, do you like just like turn up music? Like, what are you really into, like, personally?
Yeah, I'm glad you kind of noticed like the whole concept artist thing, because I do consider myself a concept artist just because I'm really critical with my writing. Like, I could write for other people all day. That's cool. Writing in somebody else's shoes is super easy. But for my own music, we all, like, I'm sure you as an artist, you kind of like understand, like, we're very critical on ourselves.
Sure.
So when I write for myself, I'm like, okay, cool. It's easier for me to pick this apart by doing this type of concept. And when I feel this concept, what kind of colors do I see? Okay, with these colors that I see, what kind of sounds go with this color? Or how am I feeling with this emotion? What emotion goes with this color? And how can I kind of package it all together? So for me personally, like, my playlists are literally like, I have one that says hit those high notes, where all the songs are all like falsetto type songs, ranging from like Thundercat to like Red Hot Chili Peppers to all these different people. And then I have another playlist that's just for sleep, where it's just all like either lo-fi sounds or jazz fusion or anything like that. So me personally, I'm just all over the place. And a card ride with me, like I'm DJing the whole time. Like, I could have my playlist ready to go, but then once I feel in the mood for something, I'll just be quick to switch it up.
That's dope, man. And I think it's this is why I love talking to artists and getting to know them in this way, because now listening to your music in my mind, it makes more sense to me now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like, now I see where the influences are coming. So let me ask you this, like, especially in like the music industry, entertainment industry as a whole, I know you're a great performer as well. So I know your mind is to entertain. You do like to entertain. There is that part of you. How do you stay, how would you describe like more of a positive mindset when you could very easily, you know, being an indie artist can break down anybody, right? It's a long-term thing. It's and you have to have that dedication. You have to also be prolific like you are, but how do you keep your mind in the right place? Like, how much time do you put into like just cultivating your mind and staying, you know, staying calm, staying inspired?
Yeah, well, one, thank you. I appreciate the compliment regarding performing. Yeah, man, it's one has been a long journey, right? Because I've been doing this for so long, but also when you're a kid, like I made tons of mistakes jumping into this where like when I was 18, I was playing bass for some of the higher tier artists out here. And that kind of got me feeling some type of way, and ranging from that to like trying to figure out how I'm going to maneuver or how I should maneuver properly and what's the professional aspect, or realizing that I don't need to be extra, or you know what I mean? So all those mistakes like given, it's really just my community that keeps me grounded, but also learning from my mistakes, like surrounding myself with certain people in my early 20s made it easier for me to select my friend group now. Like, and that's like not disrespect to like anybody's like specific, is just I mesh well better with these people over here because I'm trying to replicate other sounds over here where my sound may not be perceived well over there. So I'm like, again, like our friend Noah James says, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Right. And just being able to be in a space that's where I'm free, the positive energy is there. And again, like I've been through so many like mistakes and I guess beefs, and like I'm sure for you, like you knowing me for the past couple of years, like when I say the word beefs, you're like, okay, that's kind of surprising, but that's just surprising. Me being a kid and saying things, you know what I mean? Me being a kid saying things or wanting to diss people online because I thought I was a better rapper, whatever the case is, when I'm now realizing, hey, there's enough for both of us. We have different sounds. There's no reason to put us in the same category because we're totally different artists in our own aspect. So I respect. That's big though.
That's a big that's a big breakthrough, because I feel like I mean, you know, right? Because it's not like you only perform, you also create platforms for people to perform and for artists to express themselves. So you've seen both sides now, and I'm sure that has added to the way you look at, you know, the art in general, because you're able to see, you know, that promoter side, that show thrower side, as well as being an artist who has, I'm sure, been on countless shows of varied values and levels, right? And so you learn a lot of these things. Do you feel like dealing with artists, how does your artist mind change, or does it change when you're dealing more from the business side or from the booker side? How does that change for you?
It definitely changes somewhat, because I want to make it worth the artist's while also, because I was in the position where I was looking for shows and looking for a platform to make my own. But then some people could just write you off very easy. Or again, me being an awkward person, like I'm sure artists are kind of dealing with the same thing. Like, okay, how do I go to this event? And how do I ask this person to book me without asking them to book me? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like trying to find that middle ground and just being able to have conversations where I'm kind of just telling artists now, like, honestly, networking nowadays is just having a conversation where I could just be talking to you about food or music, or just having a good conversation where if I trust you enough with these things, I'm going to be able to be honest with you enough to say, hey, you know what? You're dope. In this realm, I'm going to book you for Love and Light, or I'm going to book you for Audio Dope because your sound fits with this lineup type thing. So it switches a little bit, but also being able to understand what's going to bring in funds, right? Because obviously we don't want to come out of pocket for any shows, right? Because yes, we love this, but also there is a fine line between love and addiction of like, just, you know, I'm gonna keep throwing this show, but I'm gonna keep spending a couple $100s every time. Yeah, it's not viable for anybody. You know. Yeah,
I tell people all the time to live for this and not not die for it. You can live for this and not die for
exactly.
it. Yeah.
It's
real
one
quick
is good advice.
before you move on. And by the way, just so you know, I think we have like a little bit of a delay. So if there is a little bit of a delay, awkward. But you hit on definitely something that's near and dear to my heart. You said you're awkward. You're an awkward person. Let's unpack that a little bit. Because I think I am too. And I've caught myself many a times. In fact, I was just talking to, do you know Tangent, right? Like, of course you do. You've booked Tangent. That's right.
Yes.
So I was talking to Tangent not too long ago, and we were talking about how there's that weird, thing at every show where there's like a circle of artists, right? Like we're all kind of in a circle. Everyone's a little awkward. So like everybody's kind of saying just enough to like remain in the circle. You know what I mean? And I'm like, sometimes it gets so weird and it's so surreal. Like, how do you feel like your awkwardness plays out? Like, what does it look like? If people don't know you, what does it look like?
Yeah, it's making sure I don't say something stupid, first of all, because like my mind is all over. Like I could easily throw in a dad joke and like be my awkward self. And, me in high school was me cracking jokes and trying to be the funny guy. And I kind of find myself doing that now, but more so as an icebreaker. Yeah. But just honestly, like being awkward kind of helped me realize like what type of person I am and I guess how to navigate these conversations. So like with that being said, like say we're at Love and Light and the circle's me, you, Tangent, Noah James, Cam Gnarly, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're all different artists, completely different artists at that. We're all, just different people in general. Like our views on life could be different. Our views on food or different type of music or just anything in general is different. So I guess just talking, like obviously a blunt helps. That's what me and Tangent always kind of like say, like a blunt helps. Like smoking helps, or just having something communal really helps. But just finding that middle ground and being able to share those energies and the life stories together.
But what does it look like for you? I guess like what I'm asking is like, what is it like if I'm watching you from afar? How do I know that you're being awkward? Like, can you? Because for me, I feel like I think I do. I think I definitely have noticed over the years that I'll do stuff it's hard for. Like I notice I won't look people in the eye a lot or I'll just have like little phrases just to fill in a conversation, you know what I mean? So that I don't have to have a full conversation. Like, how does it play out with you?
I don't talk about this, but I say the most random things to break myself out of my head. So like it could be something like, it could be like an ad lib, bro. Like I catch myself doing ad libs in real life. Gotcha. So like say like we're right next to each other and we're quiet. And all of a sudden I'm just like, it's because I'm like breaking myself out of my head to kind of like either initiate a conversation or do something or just make an observation like, oh yeah, that person was dope. Or just finding something to kind of break out of myself, not be in my head about whatever's going on. But also I catch myself a lot kind of say if it's like a certain color shirt somebody's wearing or somebody's hair, or just a specific attribute about somebody that I think is like either cool or just eye-catching. I catch myself like staring at the person too much. Like, and it's not that I'm trying. I'm just like I'm like moving around and my eye just ends up locking eyes with this person. No matter what, it never fails. I'm just locking eyes with this random person, basically. And then then I either have to one like cut it out or two like walk with this person like, hey, like how are you? Nice to meet you if I don't know you, or hey bro, how you been? It's I catch myself doing that way too often and having to break myself out of my own thoughts because
it's funny, man.
I just wander.
Yeah, it's funny because there's been times where I think I've talked to Noah about this as well. Like, because Noah said that even Noah, that's the interesting thing. Such a powerful performer, such a powerful energy, finds himself being awkward at times. And I was like, it is weird when you kind of accept yourself as an artist and then accept that there are things that you need to do to stay creative, right? Like we all kind of figure that out as we get, and some of those things are weird to other people, right? Like some of those things are not things that somebody can do every single day, but we'll like, the majority of our lives as artists, there's a lot that goes into it to just remain somewhat sane and normal, right? Because again, we're trying to live for this. We're not trying to have this kill us, you know.
Yeah.
But there is a lot that goes into it, and I think it's always a pleasure, man, to talk to artists like yourself that I can tell you've thought about all of these things before. This is not like the first time you've ever thought about any of this. You've thought about all of this stuff before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that. So, go ahead.
Well, so for me, like when you asked me to do this, I was like, oh yeah, definitely. Cause I enjoy our conversations.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just cause they come naturally. So I already know one, you're not going to catch me like out of left field with like a random question.
Right.
Like
right.
everything you say, there's like a lot of intent behind it, but also like, I feel like you unpack a lot without even trying to unpack a lot. Like you're just a people person. So you naturally you genuinely want to know. So I'm the same type of way. And I naturally like sharing as well. So I think it's like, the perfect.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I mean?
That's cool, man. Yeah, and I find that too, because thank you for saying that as well. Because I do find like the awkward part of me sometimes goes like, am I asking like too much? You know what I mean? Because like I just recently had a conversation with somebody about this, about how I definitely have noticed now over the years, being around so many artists, speaking to so many artists over the years, like there is this level of unaware, like a lot of artists are unaware of like their, for lack of better description, like awkward tics, right? And so sometimes if you're around that and you're not familiar with that, you can be thrown off. I've seen like quote unquote like normal people be thrown off when I bring them around like the artist friends, because they'll be like, you know, why is that guy sitting in the corner meditating in front of everybody? Because that's what he needs to do to get on stage. And it's very normal to me, but I forget sometimes how not normal that can be for, you know, the people around you that might not be involved in this. Like, how do the people that are not in music, that are your friends, and how do those, or do you still have friends like that? Like, how do they see your life?
So wait, just to make sure. So like, I guess the music friends, or like, I guess
like what's different? Yeah. The friends that are not music friends, like maybe even family members, like, do they get what you're doing? Do they get what's going on with you?
Yeah. So the perfect example is we'll just use my family.
Okay.
So it's very rare that I'll invite my family to shows, aside from like my parents, because like my dad does this and my mom has seen both myself and my dad do this for so long. But more so like my cousins and those that aren't musically inclined have totally different career paths of everything that they do that's creative, right? Bringing like, so when I invite them to shows, I'm inviting them for a reason. Like, yo, this is a big event, whether it's like an album release or I'm opening up for a big name. So let me invite all my supporters out. The family, I mentioned my family just because my family dynamic, I come from a very large family. So the dynamic is very all over the place. So I always feel like when I'm in that realm, like my worlds collide. So say I'm at a show, my right-hand side, I got my homies that make music. On my left-hand side, I got like two of my favorite cousins, and trying to like get them to talk is like pretty easy. But then when we start talking music, or, you know, I'm sure you understand when it comes to music, there's always inside jokes.
Sure.
There's always inside jokes that come with it. And again, those meditation moments, or I think one of my homies, he used to bring a mini trampoline with him to shows to get ready for his set. And that's to get his energy and blood going. So because they don't get it, they're pretty, I get, not necessarily freaked out, but they're just people watching. They're just like trying to understand how we do this, but also like why we do this. And obviously, like when someone performs, that's totally different, right? When someone performs, you catch it right away. But then the build up to that is just like, okay, why does this person, or why does Sincere like surround himself with this person specifically? You know what I mean? Because obviously, I'm sure you understand too. Like we have our go-to homies that we do shows with, our go-to homies that we're around all the time. Where I naturally get nervous bringing like my cousins around certain homies, just because I'm like, are they going to click? Are they going to be able to talk? Do I have to be there the whole time, or is it going to be awkward for them when I'm not around? So it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a balancing act too. It's just like I'm overthinking so much, and at that point I'm not even thinking about the show, because naturally like I'm so like confident in my performing now, I don't have to worry about that.
Mhm.
But now I'm just like overthinking, like, are they going to get along while I'm not here? Or is this
Right,
person going to
right.
hit on my cousin? Or is my cousin going to hit on this person? And just like, my mind kind of goes all over.
Yeah, I noticed that what I find a lot of times is that it's just especially like say like a green room, right? Like you take somebody into a green room and it's not like, don't get it twisted, audience. It's not like we're in like giant green rooms all the fucking time. It's nice to have a green room.
Not at all.
Right. But when you do have a green room, it's nice. And if you do bring, I've noticed if I bring someone kind of from outside of the, the business, like it's like a little much for them. That's the best way I can describe it. They usually feel like this is a lot. You know what I mean? Like, because there's people that are being very, like, one of the things that I think people tend to not really recognize a lot is that part of our job in being a creative, especially as a living and seeking that as a living, is trying to be open, right? So you're trying to find this level of personal freedom all the time. And like I know, when it's dialed in right, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like being that free, especially whether you're on stage, whether you're recording a record, but reaching that point where you literally just don't give a shit about anything except what's coming through you right now and going out to the audience. That part, I can see how that can be like daunting for someone to take that in if you've never been around that. It does look weird. I've seen people be scared by it. You know what I mean? Like literally scared. It's like, because it's like the energy is so much, it can be scary. So I kind of get it, and I'm trying to be more empathetic and like sensitive to that. But what I do find myself doing probably more is like closing my world down to nothing more than just like my creative friends. I find that as I get older, that seems to happen more. Do you find that as well?
Yeah, it's very easy for me to separate my music life and my personal life. Like, for example, most of the time I don't really share personal things online.
Yeah.
And the way I guess from early on, I kind of caught wind of like everything's not for everybody, right? And when you get certain artists that have something to say or don't like you for whatever reason, it's just, you don't want to give them ammo. You don't want to give them a reason to necessarily be a part of that. But also it's really nice having that closed door, because everybody loves their privacy. Everybody loves their closed moments. Everybody kind of likes keeping to themselves sometime. So yeah, as I'm older now, I definitely catch myself separating into two more. With the occasional, like, let me collide both my worlds really quick just because I'm having a birthday party, or I'm having this album celebration and I want all my people here. So I catch it more rare now than as much as it was when I first started doing music and inviting people to every show that I was doing, trying to sell tickets to everybody and doing that. But yes, I for sure separate the two now, and I'm totally okay with it because it kind of keeps me sane. Yeah. Because if I made it for everybody always, I wouldn't be as creative or as articulate or as well rested as I am.
Agreed. What's interesting, dude, is one of the things that drew me to your music, and one of the things that I noticed is like you share this similarity with one of my really good friends, Tumex, in that you seem to, and it seems apparent within your music, that beyond just the artistic stuff, there's a part of you that really loves love, and like and just like the concept of love and relationships and stuff. Like, where does that come from? Has that always been there?
Yeah. It's come a long way. Especially like the main thing is always like loving yourself before loving everybody else. But actually one of my first projects before I was a sincere, like when I was dropping mixtapes in high school, was called Lovely. And it was a project of just all love songs.
That's dope.
So it's funny. It's funny that you make the observation, is just because I consider love to be more than just one emotion, because there's so many different subcategories in love. Because you can hate somebody and love them at the same time. You can love yourself. You can love other people. There's just this whole, like, I guess if you want to call it a multiverse of love, like they're just all attached to one core thing, but they're totally different worlds and they're totally different stories that you could pick apart.
Yeah, that's deep, man. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And I can see how if you approach it from that side, that is enough that's enough to write about forever if you're looking at it from all the sides of love. but yeah, I noticed that, and you do it well, man. I
Thank you.
love when artists are vulnerable in that way. It's a shame that we have to use words like vulnerable to just talk about love. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird that we have to even do that, but it's a fact of life, and it seems to be prevalent within the realms and musics that you and I both make. But I love to see when somebody just doesn't give a fuck. Like, and when you don't give a fuck and you're really laying it out like that, dude, I think, some of the best work I've heard from you is your pontificating on the ideas of love and what it means to love yourself and relationships. Like, I think that's really dope. And I want to say this because I want to take the opportunity anytime we have artists to come on, because I know how this is, dude. Like, I know it's not like you to have some success, you no longer live by the claps or the boos. I get that. But I also know how important it is as an artist to occasionally hear, and what I'm about to tell you is that from the outside looking in, whatever you're doing, it's working, and it works well. I'm in circles of people that bring up your name and talk about you as fans. So just in case that was ever a question in your mind, people notice, and people are noticing what you do, even the people you might not know. So much respect to you, man. I think it's really dope what you're doing, and I'm going to continue to follow it. I really love the music you're making.
Well, that means a lot. So thank you. And just to add on real quick before we kind of jump over.
Sure.
Someone told me when I was 16, love sells more than sex. And that's kind of always stuck with me too.
Very true.
You know what I mean?
True.
Because even sex itself is a subcategory, but just to throw that out there. But thank you. Because it's same for you, bro. Because me and Noah are having this conversation when we're building up Audio Dope and kind of seeing what you guys are doing in STHE.
Yeah.
Because even though we're relatively like far away, like we're not that far away, you know. Right. So us making time to drive out there, or you making time to drive out to us, it's very well reciprocated. So I look forward to like working with you more. I know we talked about like collabing, which we still need to do for sure. I'm sure that'll happen soon. Absolutely. But even just being in the same events as you and kind of just seeing how you work and navigate, like it makes me feel good knowing that we're on the same page in a lot of aspects and how we carry ourselves. Yeah. And a lot of these conversations that we have are very mutual in how we kind of carry it, or how we provide a platform, or being able to highlight certain artists that may not be able to be highlighted. So what you do is very, very well appreciated and respected. So I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, bro. I've come up with a term for all of us recently. I just feel like we are all just high-level gardeners, and everybody's trying to garden, and plant the right garden and make sure that we grow the right garden. And I feel like there's a group of us, and you know who they are. We don't need to mention all their names, but there's a group of people around all of us that are all kind of doing that. And dude, like recently, one of the things that has really settled in on me is that, I definitely do not take that for granted in any way. I understand how rare it is for people of like minds just to come together. For you to find one person in your life that is like-minded, much less a group of people that are all kind of like-minded and are all rooting for each other. Now, are at the very least, right? Are at the very least, they're not booing each other. They're supporting, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the best part. And I understand how rare that is. So I'm appreciative of your words, and I'm appreciative that you're a part of that. So dude, please come back anytime you ever have anything to talk about, anytime you have anything to promote, videos, whatever, you just want to come on and philosophize for a little. This is a good place to do that. We do that all the time. You always have a home here. So please tell people what we can look forward for the rest of the year with you and your plans.
Yeah. Well, thank you for allowing me to have another home to go to. That's dope. Needed and appreciated. So thank you for that. I'm kind of just keeping busy this year with writing. So I've actually started working with a couple YouTube kids and helping them songwrite, and
whoa, that's dope.
just kind of just jump in that realm.
Yeah.
Like for example, there's this kid named Farhan. He's from the royalty family. His family channel probably has 17 million subscribers. So
Good
catch
guy.
me working with him a lot more this year because I'm trying to build. This kid's only 11. He's so talented.
Yeah.
He's so hungry to just pursue music. We dropped a song that I helped to produce and write with him January 2nd, and it just hit 27 million views.
Woo,
so this kid
congratulations. That's dope.
So where I was at his age, I wasn't even started yet. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see where that goes. So I'm going to be working with him a lot more. For myself, I got a record coming out with Cam Gnarly called Lethal Weapon. Us just going back to back on a song.
Hell yeah.
This is one of my brothers in the IE. So we kind of just put something together. And I think I'm just going to be dropping singles this year. I'm working on a full length album called Super Bloom. I'll kind of just say the name of it, but
sure.
That's gonna be my first like full length album. I think the biggest track list I've done on a project is about 8 songs. Just because I love creating little mini worlds, whether it's an EP or or like a really short LP. But I haven't done a full length yet. So project's for sure gonna be called Super Bloom. It's just gonna be a navigation through the seasons with myself, whether it be winter, spring, fall, etc. And kind of just I guess the definition of a super bloom is a supernatural occurrence in a barren landscape. That's so coming from San Bernardino and being able to be a light or be a love and be a light where I'm from, the name kind of just speaks for itself.
That's big.
So look forward to that. Yeah.
Dope. And then guys, you can follow A Sincere, AYE Sincere, spelled the way it sounds, on Instagram. You Google him. Please run his numbers up. Let him know Chris Sees the Internet sent you. Dude, for sure. Anytime you need to talk, come through, please do. And thank you so much, dude, for doing this.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you. I will be visiting you in STHE really, really soon. So let's plot. And I believe I have a spot ready for you at an audio dope too during the summer. So we're for sure gonna run that.
That's what's up, man. Thank you so much, bro. Everybody follow A Sincere, man. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the homie A Sincere. What'd I tell you, man? We do know how to pick them on this show. I know I've said that many times, but it's just true. We're really good at finding these gems and bringing them to y'all. A Sincere's a gem. Really talented dude who's just out there in the wild. You could catch him out there. Just out there, killing it. You know what I'm saying? Right, Eddie? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, man. Make sure you follow everything A Sincere on Instagram. And look him up. He's going to be doing shows around California. He said, he curates shows. So he's putting together stuff, and everything they put together, by the way, him and his team, always good, always super dope, always super eclectic. That's where I'm at. I don't know where y'all are at, but I am not a one vibe person. Why? I just said I'm trying to live my best life. Variety, man. I want to hear dope voices and opinions and culture from everywhere, especially in underground hip hop. None of us should sound the same. None of us should even look remotely the same in our presentation. That's where I'm at. And A Sincere, that's I could tell that's where he's at as well. Him and his whole crew. Shout out Cam Gnarly. Shout out the homies over at Audio Dope. Shout out Noah James, by the way, who really, let's be honest, made all of that happen. If I hadn't met Noah, I would have probably not met A or Cam or any of them. I got love for the IE, bro. Real shit. I've always gotten love out in the IE. You know, they get your boy. They know. We're with the weird ones. You know what I'm saying? Cult life. But yeah, man, we got Beirdoh coming up. I might just jump into it. I don't know. I mean, we're recording these now, so yeah, there's nobody in the studio. Nobody's telling me what to do. Eddie's gone. You know what I mean? We out here partying now. Well, I mean, not like as good as Eddie, but I mean, Eddie's partying, but yeah, Beirdoh. What can I say about Beirdoh? like I said, I met him at the first Black Books and Rhyme Books, where I had the pleasure to perform. I rolled up there with the homies, Rick Scales. I believe Kali was there, Notice Young. I believe, yeah. Bonnie Blue was there that day, Zay. A bunch of people that have continued to work and blossom within the scene. Performed at the very first Black Books and Rhyme Books when we were just wee little baby underground artists. And Beirdoh, and since then, my God, everybody in the underground in Southern California has gone to or is trying to go and get booked onto Black Books and Rhyme Books. And they're about to upgrade. I'm telling you. They're about to upgrade in a big way. And the beautiful thing about that brand and everybody associated with it is they're truly genuine people. I mean, you know how we get down on this show. We don't bring people on here who aren't genuine. We're not trying to do that. There's shows for that. I know that there's other people we could book. I've seen the people you guys request for us to get on. First of all, like, it's that easy. It's not like we got like millions of views yet. But we genuinely like to book people on this show. Our Eddie does, right? That we know. This is the way I look at it. We book people on this show that if y'all met them and said, "Hey, I saw you on Chris C's internet," you're just going to get love from those people because they're just genuinely good people and they'll appreciate that. And those are the type of people they are. And you're probably going to have a cool conversation, and not people who are, too full of themselves. I'm not saying don't be confident. Please be confident. Love your shit more than anybody else. But treat people good. And Beirdoh is one of those guys. He's top tier, like, good dude. If in your life you've ever had a person where you're like, man, that dude is just a good dude, and hopefully you have, Beirdoh is that, but like masterish level. Just super nice, super receptive. He's about his business. He encourages people. He's constantly looking to help people and artists specifically. He loves helping artists. If he sees you putting in the work, he loves to reach out and see if he can get you on his platform and try to get you more love. This is a guy who made a mixtape of like his favorite artist, pressed it, and then gave them away to a bunch of people so that other people can know about his favorite artist. That kind of dude. He's that. So that's what we're dealing with when we're talking El Beirdoh. But Beirdoh's coming on. He has a company called American Error. He has dope merch. And we had a dope conversation. Because really, like I said, he's just coming on to make a quick announcement. But you know me, I'm going to try to pull him in a little bit and have some conversations, let him share some stuff with you. But you're going to be seeing a lot of Beirdoh around the platform offices, as we like to say. What else is going on before I get into that? Oh, man. Go to my Instagram. Go to Gene Flow's Instagram. We dropped some live performance stuff. Just stuff we did here in the studio. But I must say, we're really good. We're good. Invisible Ponchos. Catch us out there. We've been doing we've been staying in, man, because we're recording records right now. We're doing some cool projects. We have an NFT project coming up with Secret Saviors of Underground Hip Hop, which is going to be super dope. The fact that me and Gene are going to be associated with our own NFT and on a reputable brand like Secret Saviors, with some legends, man. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. This is the way I see releasing something for us, which for us, it was a no-brainer because I know these NFTs and this brand is going to be around forever. And it's going to be a big part of hip-hop history when we look back on it, for sure, because it's already associated with such big names and such influential people. For me, it was about me securing our spot in that story. So doing the NFT, I know that's something that generations and generations can share. And if you're a hip hop artist like myself, especially someone who loves the underground, getting your name etched, on that list of people to remember is always a goal. And this is a step towards that for us. So that's why we're doing it. But that's what we're doing. And we released, so to let out stress, we'll record some performances and to stay sharp because we are going to tour this summer. And we released them. So go to our Instagram, run up those numbers, leave some comments, share the videos, man. Share the videos. Please help us get the word out. Join the cult. Invisible Ponchos all day. People asked the other day, is it true that the Invisible Ponchos just follows Selena Gomez on Instagram? Well, yeah. Doesn't that make sense to you? So, but follow the Ponchos, myself, our own page. Go to KILLcRey.com if you want to know more about the Ponchos. You want to know more about our background. There's a dope bio up there, dope photos, new photo sets coming out. Shout out to the homeboy, Mr. Arash. We just did a dope photo shoot with him. And we got just a bunch of cool stuff coming, man. So we're really excited. Look, musically and career-wise, this is the best place I've been in. Me personally, like the stuff we have lined up and the stuff coming. It's been the best. It's the best. It has been the best within this last 2 years. I've seen the constant growth. And now that we're associated and affiliated with our other team members, shout out to 7 October, shout out to Melly, shout out to Gene Flow, Parker Edison, me and OG Hip Hop Eddie. This is a dream team for us because they're such hard workers. The people we're affiliated with right now, they're such hard workers. And they're all getting their goals. They're all steadily moving towards their goals. And it's obvious. I mean, 7 Octobers. 7 Octobers was this shy girl who showed up to Hip Hop Wins, a weekly event in San Diego where I was helping throw it with the homie Kali. And she would just show up to that as a fan. And to see what she's doing now, she's going to make like a short film with us now. She has her own podcast, their podcast, Melly and Gabby's podcast, exploded onto the scene this year. They're about to do more stuff this next year. They just did this Thought Fest event that went amazing, and they got so much love there. They sold merch. Look, I know that sounds like nothing. Maybe to you, it might sound like nothing. But as an independent artist, if you come from nothing and then you're like selling merch, like within a year's time, man, you are riding high, and they deserve to be riding high. Gene Flow is, arguably having the best year he's ever had. For sure, he's said that. He's having the best year he's ever had musically. He's got music everywhere. He's got placements, huge placements coming up. He's got a bunch of stuff. So PlatformCollection, man. And then the Parker Edison project. Dude, we're affiliated with NPR and KPBS. That's crazy. It literally says PlatformCollection when you're listening to NPR if that show pops up. That's a dream come true. We've always wanted to do that. We were the first in our scene to really be doing podcasts. I don't think anybody really argues that. PlatformCollection was doing Crappy Awesome when people didn't really know what, that was the podcast I did before this was called Crappy Awesome. You can still find it on Spotify. There's over 300 interviews on there with like some amazing artists, many artists that you guys know. And we have like some of the first interviews with a lot of those artists too. And we follow them. The thing Crappy Awesome got known for is that the artist would always come back. We also had artists come back and just grow with us. It's why you see us like, we reference Reverie a lot, and you see us working with her from time to time. That came from Crappy Awesome. We had her first podcast was on Crappy Awesome, and we've just kind of grown. And so we've been documenting the scene for a long time, and to get a podcast now on NPR KPBS. Super dope. Killing it. And we got a bunch coming up. Still, I mean, I don't think there's anybody on our team who feels like we're doing everything we want to be doing. There's a lot on the planning table right now. And when that stuff gets executed, like soon, none of the stuff I'm talking about is like, oh, years from now. I'm talking like within the next few months. It's going to be insane. Man, you heard it here first. Again, super confident about that for sure. You'll see. But in the big scheme of things, or actually, even in the close-knit scheme of things, Beirdoh is a part of that. And it's always a pleasure to talk to my bro. He's family to us. I will always have his back. Such a good dude. Again, early supporter of the things we've done. Early listener of Crappy Awesome. He talks about going on Crappy Awesome and that being like such an inspiration for him and him listening to the show. So that, to see where he's at now, man, we've had quite a journey. Like I said, man, I've lived quite a life. 3 kidney stones worth. That's what I've done. I've been living the life, bro. I'm really out here. Right, Eddie? Oh, no, you're out there. Well, Eddie's out there, but I'm also out there, man. I've been living the life. So, yeah, man, Beirdoh's coming on. And let's just jump into that, yeah? Anyways, here's my conversation with my bro. Beirdoh, follow American Air. Okay, so, dude, Beirdoh is here with us, man. Dude, welcome to Chris Sees the Internet. First of all, I think this is going to catch a lot of people off guard because thank God it's a little dark, right? Because it's kind of obscuring your face a little bit. But this is you finally just throwing it out there for people who don't know, who haven't followed Beirdoh. His face has been part of the mystery for years. Even though his face is technically his logo, people rarely get to see his actual human face in pictures or anything. It's always covered up. So, dude, first, thank you for doing this and basically taking the mask off. But we have you on for a very special reason. You're joining the PlatformCollection team. You're officially launching the Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast that will be going live very shortly. We are as a team all working very hard to get it recorded because we want to have some dope episodes for y'all, and they are going to be amazing. And we're going to tell the story of Black Books and Rhyme Books through this podcast, as well as the stories behind the artist that you book. Bro, tell people and you know, I know you've talked to me about this many times, but for people who might not know, for people, especially on YouTube, our newer audience, what is Black Books and Rhyme Books? And how would you sum it up for people who've never been to the event?
It's an all ages hip hop graffiti show.
Yeah.
Live performances, live painting, vendors, clothing, art, canvases. Now we're doing flower and stuff like that, just depending on the location, if it allows us. But it's hip hop, you know, it's what we grew up with. And it's for young parents to bring their children and for them to experience what they're going to see on the streets anyways, you know?
I think that's a great way to sum it up because it really is that. It has become a Black Books and Rhyme Books family over the years because a lot of people have come through your event. A lot of people continue. There's generational, you know, things happening with your event where people are taking their kids and now they're growing up. You know, like even Eddie's young son went to one years ago and he's going to be going to these next ones. And now he's like kind of grown up with it. He understands it. Like did you think at the beginning that it was going to be this effective, I guess, for lack of a better description, like this effective when it comes to like touching the scene as a whole? Because you started where was the first one again?
In Lincoln Heights.
In Lincoln Heights.
Spot,
right. So since then, it has literally like spread throughout Southern California. It's been all over places. Yeah. Was that the plan at the beginning, to take it on the road, kind of, or did you not foresee that happening?
No, not at all. It was supposed to be one show for my birthday. That was the way I was going to celebrate it, instead of having a barbecue or something in the backyard or something, you know. So I just put a show together, and it went so good. The next one was like in May. It was a few months after, but then from there, try to do it like at least once a month, every other month. The hardest part was finding the location, allowing us to gather. And well, you know, they think hip hop and graffiti is gonna vandalize and stuff, but luckily till this day, we're 36 shows in, and we've never had like any crazy incidents like that. People know they're old enough. They know, you know, leave that on the streets, and you know, like there's little kids there and stuff, and you know, like people are grown. They know what's up and shit.
Yeah. Do you feel like, you know, and as you're like talking, and even though, you know, we've known about the event for a long time, we've been involved in the event for many years, I hadn't really thought about this until you were saying this right now, but I do kind of feel like it is one of the longest running and last family friendly events that like people could actually come with their entire family. I've seen people of various ages, from young to old, at your events. And it is because you can literally like go to one of your events and set up and just chill there all day and take it in. In fact, you kind of encourage that. You encourage people to like stay for the day. And like, I've seen people come and stay and eat and drink and hang out, and their kids are playing. And I don't know, I'm trying to think of, this is how I know that it is one of the last, because I'm literally trying to think of one off the top of my head right now. And I can't put my finger on one that is that consistent and that has been going on that long, that's still family friendly for hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, we had a show like 2 weeks ago, the one on Fairfax. People brought their kids, they brought their chairs and sat in the alley, you know, like watching we had the performers up on a balcony. You could see it from anywhere, wherever you were standing, and people were just setting up in the alley and enjoying the show. Dogs, you know, people brought their dogs, their kids, like.
Yeah, it's almost like a hip hop tailgate in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like it feels like that.
Yeah, same thing in the alley. Members from STP were painting. Jism was painting arte. Like it was just live graffiti and music, and you had the vendors, the food. You know, the pizza from Zavala's Pizza, ceviche and stuff, and just live music, live painting, food. Like what? On a Sunday with your kids, you know, instead of being home or whatever, like what more do you want and shit? Like,
yeah. If you love hip hop, there probably isn't much better place to be at than Black Books and Rhyme Books. And I think let's talk about this too, man, because one of the things that I've loved about the brand is, for sure, it has helped launch and cultivate artists, you know, careers, even from the start, like, right? Because you book all over. Like, it's not like you book just a certain level. You'll book people who are just starting out. You'll give people their first shots. I've seen people get their first shots at shows at Black Books and Rhyme Books. But you also have veterans come through. And now the community, before we went on air, we were talking about how you're about to expand again. It's not something we can talk about openly right now, but it is expanding and people are starting to see it. So you're going to be dealing with bigger artists in a bigger level, but you do start, you will put people on who've never had any experience. What have been some of your favorite experiences when booking artists? Like, what have been some of the moments that you've liked the best?
Like, I become a fan first, you know, like I'm listening to the music, I'm scrolling, I'm listening. And like, for example, MC Wicks, Fresno.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really make that trip out there and stuff. And, or just like, as far as San Diego, like you guys, like Rick Scales and, including you guys, Beirdoh and Amon, you know, the neighborhood kids and just,
people who are traveling for the event.
Opposite. Yeah. And, unfortunately, like the shows are free and we don't always have the funds and stuff, but like the platform's there, for them. We let them set up a booth, try to make some money that way, and I just become a fan of the music first, and then that's the way I reach out. Since they don't mind performing, it's just like the first show, once again, like, which was like a personal concert, like I picked and choose
for your birthday
who I wanted to see that day. Yeah, and that's basically what it is now
every
too.
time.
Like, not only people, like people reaching out and stuff, and send your links and stuff like that, but it's pick and choose every show also from now on. Yeah, that's how it's been since day one and shit.
You know what's cool about that though, man? And I know that you are a humble cat. We've talked about, you and I have talked about this off there about, accepting the love and making sure that, you're taking care of yourself, because I know a lot of this comes from your heart. You're legitimately, dude, one of the best people we've ever met in the scene. It's why we're still friends with you, but it's also important to us that people really give you the flowers that you deserve, bro. And the reality is that the thing that makes Black Books and Rhyme Books work is that it is your taste. It literally is. Every time we go to it, it is you've painted a painting, and though that's the event. Every single time, that's what it is. Yeah. And I think a lot of people might overlook that at first, but it's why I wanted you to be on here, and it's why I'm excited that your podcast is starting on our network, because we're finally going to be able to hear the story behind the man who created this. Because that's the thing, as much as you love to give the props and respect to the people that help create it by being there, it's you who break out the paint, it's you who break out the brush, it's you who break out the canvas. And we all just get to be selected for that. And I think that can't be said enough, and it can't be emphasized enough on how much Black Books and Rhyme Books is you. It's everything that you are.
Yeah. I
know how you are. I know you don't like compliments. Yeah. I'm the same way, but it's important that I wanted it recorded so people can hear it and see it and know it. That this is, when you go to a Black Books and Rhyme Books, you're basically going into Beirdoh's head. Like that's what you're doing. You're going into his brain, and then that's what it looks like. So that's what's dope about it, because each one is kind of like an art piece. But yeah, dude, thank you for doing everything you do. Let's talk about the podcast, man. What are you hoping to do with this podcast? What kind of brought you to finally doing this? For people who don't know, Beirdoh is not the guy who is searching for a microphone all the time. In fact, most of the time he's running away from the microphone. He doesn't want to be on a microphone. What has brought you to the point where you're like, man, I finally need to do a podcast?
You know what? It's been 7 years, and I think I want to start hosting some of the shows. Maybe not all of them, but
yeah,
I want to, like, it's time, it's that time. I'm nervous right now, but like even more with a bunch of people and shit, like,
yeah.
But
you feel like the podcast is going to help you with that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think so, like, just, I want to see, their view of it, especially the ones that have performed multiple times at the show. Like, I want to see their view on like the first and then from the next feedback one. Just because it hasn't been documented, like, and not only seen like just on Netflix. I don't know how long it's been there. I know it's been out for a while, but the Good Life documentary that they did,
right.
It's on Netflix right now, and I just re-saw it again, and it just brought up a whole, like, like it needs to, like, it is LA hip hop history and shit, like,
and it's important that the story gets out there.
There's no denying it, like, there's no denying it and shit, like.
So you're doing this for more of a, like, you feel like you're doing the podcast more, or at least where do you feel it personally? You feel like it's kind of like a sense of duty for you, right? Like that's what you feel.
Yeah. I want to also bring back the memories, like maybe something that I didn't see they remember, or like vice versa, or just share the stories. And Also, like a lot of these people, it's gonna be their first interview. Like they've been around for a while too, and they haven't been documented. Like, you know, like it's not gonna be real in depth because you could always go to any other podcast for that. But I have like, I want to get personal and stuff with more of the music, you know, just because of the but
because
like,
you're such a fan.
Just time to document their story. Yeah.
I think it's going to be amazing, man. I'm super excited for it. For people who don't know, we're producing the show right this first season. We're going to be fully producing it, so we're going to be helping Beirdoh book the guests. We already have guests lined up, and I'm excited for the people that he's got coming up. You guys are going to be excited. Obviously, you guys know we've been podcasting for a while, so there is no reason to start Beirdoh off slow. We're not starting him off slow. We're starting him off big. Right off the first season, he's going to have some amazing guests come through. We even had the homie Moody on the other day for you guys who watched that episode. He talks so highly of you. And he's somebody who's going to be coming through because he's definitely connected to Black Books and Rhyme Books too. One of Beirdoh's favorite artists. So he's going to be coming through. Plus a bunch of people that you may or may not have heard of yet, but that are about to be introduced to our entire platform and become parts of that platform forever. And I can't say this to you.
This is exactly also why, you know, like, get their names out there to help them. Hopefully someone that hasn't seen it before, this is the way they're going to hear their name for the first time, you know? And so hoping just exactly how Black Books and Rhyme Books, your live performance, this is your experience there. And we'll see.
And then here's the accompany podcast for it. Like that, it's dope because I think what is going to happen, bro, like I've kind of, and we're obviously developing this show as we go, and I feel like it's just going to keep getting better. And I realize that at some point, what the Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast is going to be is almost going to be like an after show for the actual event. So when people go to the events, they can go home and the next week and listen to the podcast and then hear all the things that they might have missed. So you're going to be able to take it in on two levels, you know what I mean? Live, and then you're going to hear all the little stories that you missed from the background. So you'll have, it's going to be the first time people are going to be able to have the full experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
Like I said, if you haven't been there yet, we're not stopping. They're free. There's no excuse. So experience it live, you know, and then go, like you said, then go home and listen to it over and over and shit.
Yeah, bro. Amazing, dude. Thank you so much for coming through. And like I said, I know that this is new to Beirdoh. Like the podcast side of this and speaking in front of people, it's not what he got into this to do. Like he literally has been hiding his face since the day I met him. And so the fact that it's finally, and so how ironic that it gets dark right there so you can hide your face again. But the reality is you're going to be seeing his face a lot. You're going to be seeing his face a lot on our network, and you're going to be seeing it play out, dude. So, dude, thank you so much. We're excited. Stay tuned for this next month, guys. Or actually, you're seeing this on Sunday, so it's already time. This month, we're going to be premiering his podcast later in the month. So you'll see the first episodes start rolling out. So make sure you follow Platform Collection, follow Beirdoh on Instagram to follow all of Black Books and Rhyme Books. Let him know that we sent you, and please go to a Black Books and Rhyme Books. If you are a hip hop fan and you're in California at all, it is a must. You have to go. You'll go to all of them after that. Go to one and you'll go to the rest because it's such it's one of the last pillars of hip hop where you can go and experience every aspect of hip hop in one place.
Yeah, and help us get out of the state, you know?
There you go.
There's music and graffiti everywhere. We're getting out of California and coming to your state and city soon, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
Invite us out and send the invites to Beirdoh. Let them know what your community is doing, what your community might need. Maybe your community needs a Black Books and Rhyme Books. And if you're in one of those cities, don't think your city is too small either. Like we said, Black Books and Rhyme Books comes from humble beginnings. So we understand we definitely understand that, there's some communities that have nothing going on, and you might need a monthly Black Books and Rhyme Book. So reach out, let Beirdoh know.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
Make sure you guys
Thank
follow
you.
Beirdoh,
Appreciate it. And
follow American Air. Tell them anything you want them to know, right? Anything coming up, man? Anything you want them to know before you go?
yeah, so we're gonna, I don't know if we're gonna do one in June, but for sure we got July, August, and September. Trying to make it out to do Black Books and Rhyme Books in San Diego before September.
Nice.
If we could start planning that out.
Yes, sir.
And, yeah, July, be on the lookout for July. That one's gonna be big in downtown LA somewhere. Just stay posted for that one. And sure, that's gonna be the big summer one, the July one.
Yes, and let me say this, man, just so that we put it out there, because I know a lot of people see these kind of things and they want to figure out how to support. They might not even be in the city, and maybe they want to support. He's got merch, so go to Black Books and Rhyme Books. Go to Beirdoh's Instagram, and there's merch. It's amazing merch. It's got great messaging. And if you're watching the video version, you're seeing it online right now. Go there, pick up some of the gear. And that's one of the best ways you can support and give back. He makes all this stuff himself. Yes. He puts it out himself. Everything is out of his own means. He has to make these things happen. So support hip hop by supporting Black Books and Rhyme Books.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, my friend, we will talk soon. I'll be seeing you soon to hit up your podcast. And I love the fact that your screen is completely black now, because it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, brother.
It was a great way to end it.
Great way to end it. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
All right, sir.
All right, bro. Boom. There you have it. The cat is out of the bag. Beirdoh is officially part of the Platform Collection. We got a lot of plans for my boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We just had a meeting about him. We got a lot of plans. A Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast. It's going to be dope. We've already recorded some episodes, and really the feel of it is like they're way more hanging out. They're like hanging out. And you're hearing artists have conversations while they hang out with Beirdoh, because that's what Black Books and Rhyme Books is. It's a hangout where graffiti artists come, break dancers, b-boys, b-girls, DJs, MCs, all the facets of hip hop, and then some. And some you might not even know about, like the sticker world and all that good stuff. It's super dope. So we had a lot of plans for him. You're going to be seeing him dip in and out of all the shows, right? He's going to be on the other podcasts as well, for sure. He's already been on this one. And it was cool, right? How he rarely shows his face. And so, of course, he sits outside to do the interview. And by the time the interview's done, you can't even see his face anymore. Oh, Beirdoh. He always gets what he wants. But Black Books and Rhyme Books podcast coming soon, towards the end of the month. We've been hesitant to throw the official date out. We've thrown out a date in the past, but we had to move some stuff around because we had to, it's different. We're in San Diego, Beirdoh's in LA. So producing the show, we're traveling back and forth, and we're doing everything we can to get all the episodes. We want to at least get a few episodes out right away, so you guys don't have to wait. You can sit there and go through a couple episodes. And as we're making the entire season. So he's going to be running as a season, like we all kind of do. We're the loosest ones here. Whoa. Chris Sees the Internet is we kind of do a season. We take like a month off right when me and Eddie are about to kill each other. We take a month off, boom, and then we come back fresh. But everybody else runs seasons. So the Heartful Truth runs seasons. Beat Block runs seasons. Shout out Beat Block TV, by the way. Gene Flow, whoo, killing it. Producers only show, super dope. So we're in the producer world. We're now over into this Black Books and Rhyme Books world, which is we're gonna be talking to graffiti artists, b-boys, DJs, cultural icons, as well as hip hop artists. Got the Heartful Truth. They're dedicating next season to the ladies way more. So we're really, really going to hear the female voice in underground hip hop, because if you think that it's not strong and it doesn't exist, you're crazy. They dominate, man. They sell out. They sell out all their shows. The ladies are killing it. And so we're going to shine a big light on that, a much needed light on that through the Heartful Truth. Not that they're not going to have guys on there, but we are going to shine the light on it, because we had a talk and we're like, yo, if not us, then who? Right? If not now, then when? But they're going to be doing that. We got other stuff on the cooker. Also, make sure you check out the Homegirl, because we're doing these things too now, right? We're also affiliated with other shows where we didn't necessarily create the podcast about people, but Vita Kills did. Vita Kills is somebody that we think is an amazing artist that you should know about. She reached out to us, said, hey, do you want to, let's partner up on this thing, right? She's got a podcast. She's making content. So we're super excited about that. And it's like having another billboard out there represented by an amazing artist, a genuine person. Again, why would we not want to be associated with Vita Kills? Just such a genuine person. So check out her show, follow her, and follow the podcast about people. Let me see if I can bring up some. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Or I just wanted to see if there's anything else that I can tell you. I got some notes here. Yeah, but the podcast about people, make sure you go do that. Anchor FM, the podcast about people, or just search the podcast about people on Instagram. Spelled the way it sounds, the podcast about people. You know what I'm saying? Hosted by the homie Vita Kills. And dude, she's not just talking to like hip hop. Like that's not what she's doing. She's just talking to people about all things like mental health and a lot of mental health stuff. She's big on the mental health game. If you follow her content, you know that. But also artistry, dealing with creatives, all that. And the people associated with that, not necessarily just artists, but they all seem pretty artistic, the people that she's choosing to interview. So go check that out. Let her know we sent you. And we got her back. That's got a PlatformCollection stamp on it. We got her back. Run up those numbers for her. And we're going to be doing more. We're like I said, we're thinking about a lot of different ways to incorporate all the shows together and get everything lined up. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Vita. You know, we might have Vita do a Chris Caesar internet takeover. I want you guys to know all the hosts. So get with PlatformCollection, and man, it has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure, y'all. Shout out to OG Hip Hop Eddie, living his best life. He's probably on his way back from Vegas as we speak. Maybe he's in the chat room right now. I'm gonna be in the chat room. I'm in the chat room. I'm in the chat room. So, guys, thank you so much. PlatformCollection right here on YouTube. Catch my show and all the other shows I talked about. Also catch the Parker Edison Project anywhere audio podcasts are found. And I think we're going to be doing some audio stuff too. So I think we're going to be transitioning all the shows. And then we just found out we can finally do video on Spotify. So we'll be up there. We got the invite. So you'll be able to catch these videos on Spotify as well soon. So look out for that. We're growing, man. We're growing. I think we just always will be. So if you want to stand by and see the growth and watch the growth and help the growth of the company, the culture, everything that we're doing, what we always ask you first is support the artists we support. And that's how you support us, because that makes the community grow. And we're all about the community. So please do that. And if you want to do a little extra, follow me at KILLcRey, or KILLcRey, or KILLcRey, or KILLcRey. Any of those. KILLcRey, though, on Instagram. Google it. Follow everything we do. OG Hip Hop Eddie on Instagram. Let him know you saw his Vegas turn up. If you saw him out there in Vegas, leave him a message. Tell him to get out of your city. I'm sure it was Hurricane Rangel. I'm sure it was. And shout out to his lovely wife as well. Happy birthday, Edith. And man, we'll see you guys next week. Is next week Father's Day? I don't know, man. I don't have a dad. But if it is, I'm not sure if we're going to be doing a show next week because Eddie's a dad, and we don't work our people like that, man. You know, maybe we'll pre-record again. Yeah, we'll probably pre-record again. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do a live no dads show. Maybe that sounds fun. I'll just find people who don't have dads, and then we'll do it for Father's Day. But then I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it sounds like a fun idea. But yes, follow us, man. And thank you for tuning in, guys. For sure, it's always appreciated. Everything you guys do. And thank you guys again for the dope messages you guys always send us. My DM is always filled with love, and that's really cool. That's really cool. And it's really appreciated. You guys know, you guys who do that, because you know I answer you, and I always try to get back to you guys in a timely fashion. And I always will try to do that. So if you DM me with anything, people you want to see on the show, topic ideas you want to hear us talk about, you know, all the good stuff. My shirtless pictures when they come out, because the abs are going to be like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Catch me at all the pool parties this summer. Killing the game. And then say that little prayer for me, you know what I mean? Like, shrink those kidney stones in my kidneys. Help me. Shrink them. I'm on it, though, man. Hold up. Water break. Hydrate, y'all. Alkaline hydrate. Do that. Don't sleep on that. You don't want to get the stones, y'all. The stones. God damn. It is what it is. We'll see you guys next week, man. PlatformCollection. Always. YouTube. Always. All the other stuff soon. You know how we do. That was the internet, and we saw it.